Hey guys, what is up? Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Gucci Mink, and if you're returning, I hope you're subscribed. So, in today's video, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be dipping into the conspiracy palette, as well as the mini controversy from Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson's collaboration, which recently dropped this past Friday. It is already sold out, but don't worry, there's going to be restocks, so don't buy off of eBay. Make sure you buy straight from Jeffree Star Cosmetics or his retailers. And for today's video, as you can also tell by the title, I'm going to be doing 3 separate looks. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to do one eye with the conspiracy palette, one eye with the mini controversy palette, and then in the end, I'm going to do a full look with both palettes. So I'm super excited to start this video, so let's dive in. I already went ahead and primed both eyes using the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Oh my gosh, hopefully you guys can't hear the birds outside. But as you can already tell by all the pictures circulating social media, this is what the palette looks like. I'm gonna pop up the picture. And what I wanna do is a definitely more colorful eye. There is a lot of eyes that you can do with this palette. I'm thinking of going into more of like the Cheeto Dust color, the Flaming Hot, and maybe even go into this Diet Cola shade. We will see what I am up to today, and I'm going to use the palette, take off the little mirror thing. If you want to see what I got from this whole collection, you can go watch my last video, and I did a whole type of vlog, follow me around, come shopping with me, and I show off everything that I did purchase at the Morphe store in Ala Moana on launch day. So to start off this look, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Cheeto Dust into my brush, and I'm going to be stamping that into my crease area. And yeah, I'm going to do a basic cut crease for this look because I have no creativity right now. I'm just going to keep packing that on and building it up, and then we will go ahead and blend it out after. So just like that, I am happy with how it looks. This is what it's looking like so far. And to blend it out, I'm going to be using the same brush. I'm just going to wipe it off. And to blend it out, I'm going to be using the shade Tanacon. Now to deepen up that crease, I'm going to be going into the shade Flaming Hot. And then just blending that a little bit with the first brush. So now to really deepen up that crease, I'm going to take a little pointy brush like this, and I'm dipping into the shade My Rides Here. And then just placing it in the outer corner. So now I'm going to be coming back in with the same brush that I used before with the shade Flaming Hot. I'm blending over that black shade just to blow it out and to mix it all together. Now I'm going to do a half cut crease using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. Now to blend out the outer corner of my eye, I'm going to dip into the shade My Rides Here again and just stamp it on a little bit and blend it out. And to soften up that black shade, I'm going to dip into the shade Flaming Hot and place that right over. Now dipping into the shade Diet Cola, I'm going to be placing that in the cut crease area. So I'm going to be leaving this outer area blank so that I could add more colors and use up as many shades as possible in this video. So far, I actually really like this. I think what Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson did with this palette is amazing because they really did a job of capturing who Shane Dawson is while still collaborating with Jeffree Star, giving us that whole experience of Jeffree Star as a brand. And then just to see the shades that Shane's mind came up with is amazing, and to see how much work he put into this just really means a lot, using the palette knowing that it is literally his baby. Like, a lot of people say that, oh, this palette's my baby, but we never get to see them make it. So now seeing it, we can see how much effort and how much appreciation we can give to something more now that we know how much work is put into it. And to close up that gap between the black and the silver, I'm going to be taking the shade Spiraling. That was actually a really nice transition from the silver to the black. And so just to blend it together, I don't want to lose so much of the silver, so I'm going to blend it with that shade Diet Cola again. And so to finish up the under eye, I'm just going to be going back into the shades Flaming Hot and Cheeto Dust. So to finish up this side of my look, I just went with that shade Cheese Dust. I think I've been calling it Cheeto Dust this whole time, but we all know what it is. Cheese Dust, Flaming Hot, and then Ranch in my inner corner and brow bone. So that is the complete look. And then I added a little bit of liner with the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner and this lash from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the style Gorgina. Here's a little bit more of a close-up of this eye. Now moving into my left eye, I'm going to be using the Mini Controversy palette. So again, I'm going to pop up a picture of this palette on the screen. Now looking at this palette, there isn't much that I think you can do with this palette besides purple, blues, browns, but I'm going to try my best and make this as creative as possible. So it is a little bit inspired by this look I saw on Twitter earlier, and if I can find it, I'll pop it up on the screen, but I'm going to be doing something like that look. And here we go. So the first shade that I'm going to be dipping into is going to be Cancelled. And my eyes are already primed, as I said before, and I'm just going to stamp that into my crease area and build up as much pigment as I can. So now that we have this nice blue Cancelled shade on my eyelid, I'm going to blend that out with Cry on My Couch, same brush. Is Shane's couch this color? Honestly, that would be iconic if it was. I don't see why he wouldn't make it his couch color. But then again, this is just names of things that would make sense during a controversy. So if it's not his couch color, I don't know what to tell you. Now that I'm blending it out with that shade Cry on My Couch, I am bringing a little bit more of the Cancelled shade just to blend it up so that we can see this color more. So now that we have a nice blown out blue color, I'm going to be taking a packing brush and then dipping into the shade Controversy. How fitting, that's the name of the palette. And I'm just going to pack that onto the lid. So what are you guys, as I'm blending, what are your guys' thoughts on this series? In general, I know we're not done. When I'm filming this, we are literally only on part 6, as you could kind of tell because the palette literally just released. But I think I remember seeing somewhere that there are 9 parts. So we're gonna see launch day. Then we're also going to see their little meet and greet in Minnesota at the Mall of America. So excited the series is not done. They didn't just drop the palette and go. They are still going to show us more of the journey, because that is a part of the whole making of palette process, because you gotta know when it launches and then how they react. I know Shane is so sweet. He probably is so relieved that a lot of people bought his collection. I don't know why he was worried. He's such a big influence on the internet, and there's so many people that want to support him. I want to see him succeed. Now what I just did was I took that shade Cancelled again on the first brush that I used, and I'm packing it over the purple and then blending it out just to give it a little bit more of a darker purple vibe than what I was feeling earlier. So now I'm fully hoping this works. I'm going to take that shade My Boyfriend's Purse and stamp it over my lid. Okay, scratch that idea, it just made it look ashy. I'm just gonna take that shade My Apology. How fitting, My Apology. I'm going to be stamping that shade onto my lid. And then taking my blending brush, I'm just going to blend that all together. Just give a nice natural look to my eye. I finished up this eye, as you can tell. I just took that shade, Cancelled, brought it under my eye, blended it out with Cry on My Couch. And then for the inner corner and brow bone, I took the shade Flat Earth. And this is a really pretty purple blue look. As you can tell, 2 different sides of the spectrum of colors on my eyes. And really pretty. The lashes are in Anastasia's style fashion. So here is a close-up of both eyes now. If you can still see the lash glue, I'm sorry. So now I'm just going to move on to combining both palettes for a good look. So now for this last look, as I mentioned, it's going to be a mixture of the Mini Controversy palette as well as the Big Conspiracy palette. So I'm going to see what look I'm going to go for. I'm just going to open up both palettes and see what my mind comes up with. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little blown out signature cut crease type of eye. And to incorporate both palettes, I want to do the shade exposed in the inner half, then possibly going out with pigment to go out farther, then Not a Fact, and see where we go from there for my lid color. But yeah, so I already have my eyes primed. So taking that shade exposed, I am going to pack that into the front portion of my eye. And taking the same brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Pigment. Pig, like the animal, and blend this one and wing it a little bit out. Now for this type of look, I like to wing it out and then bring that same shade back in. So now, just to not lose that color, I'm just going to place Expose again a little bit more in the front portion of my eye. Now you can sort of see the purple. It's showing up a little bit more better on camera. In person, you can definitely tell that there's purple there. But for now, I'm going to deepen up this crease area and then the outer corner. Now to do that, I'm going to be dipping into the shade Not a Fact. Just again, I'm going to dip into the shades Exposed and Pigmented, Pigment, so that I can blend out the shade as well as not lose intensity. I also did need to blend into the shade Pigment again, so that I could blend out this wing. And because the shade Not a Fact is not deep enough for my liking, I am going to be dipping into the shade My Bride's Here. It is so hard to say these shade names after watching the series because you already know like what his ideas were, like Shane's ideas. So like for Cheese Dust, I wanted to call it Cheeto Dust earlier in the video. And for my rides here, I did want to say my Ubers here. But you know, legal reasons, we gotta say it like that. My rides here and Cheese Dust. So just taking that pointed brush again that I used in the first look, just to deepen up that shade Not a Fact, I'm going to be blending that black shade in the same areas. So again, just to mix the two colors together, I'm taking that shade Not a Fact again and placing that over the black to deepen up the Not a Fact shade. The amount of birds on my window right now is insane. It is literally 6:15. It's dark outside already, and they're still chirping like it's 7 a.m. It is so tempting to put that shade Diet Cola back in my lid because it's such a pretty shade. One of the prettiest shades in the palette. Honestly, all the shades in here are pretty. But I don't know what type of color I want to go for. Should I just go for a green? I think green would look nice. I don't think this blue in this palette would look too good on my eyelid. So maybe just to incorporate the Mini Controversy palette a little more, I'm going to do the inner third of this cut crease with the shade My Boyfriend's Purse, just to give it a little bit more appreciation, a little bit more love. So now I think I'm going to dip into that shade Illuminati and place it on the rest of my eyelid. Actually, leaving a little bit space between the shade Illuminati and My Boyfriend's Purse, I want to leave a little bit more space in the middle just to mix them both with Conspiracy. So I'm just going to finish up this eye off camera, be right back, and a full face will be applied. Just like that. So for the rest of my face, as you can tell, it took a little bit longer than I thought because of my makeup application. I took a while. Not anything to deal with the products, but for my under eyes, I just dragged Not a Fact, and then I did Expose and Pigment, just like the top. And then for my waterline, I used the Pat McGrath Black Coffee Liner. And for the rest of my face, I just threw on Light Beat. I used the Brain Freeze palette for my highlighter. I used Gemini for my lips. And then the lashes are Anastasia Beverly Hills Lashes in So Hollywood. These lashes are so long. Like, whose lash line is gonna be long? I don't know. But I cut them down to size. They're really pretty and they fit the look. So that is it for today's video. So go follow me on all my social media. I'll link them down below. And then comment if you like any of the shades in the palette, which one is your favorite. If you don't remember, skip on back to some part of my video and you will see them. And then also like this video, turn on the notification bell so you get notifications whenever I post, because I don't post often or consistently, which is on my part. But we're gonna not talk about that. As always, love you the most.